Log into gyroscopeme.com, the hottest online radio station in the world. GS Radio all day, all night, worldwide. Powered by Gyroscope Media Group, LLC.
GS Radio, the best internet radio station worldwide. Providing the best in music and talk shows. Go to www.gsradionj.com and check out the best internet station in the world. You're listening to GS Radio, internet radio station powered by GMG, LLC.
Welcome to episode number 413, the 413th episode of the Rashad Mitchell Show, live on Gyroscope Radio. I'm Rashad Mitchell, coming to you live, be motivated from home. The Rashad Mitchell Show comes on every single afternoon from 2 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on Gyroscope Radio. Thank you back once again for the final episode, man, the season finale of the Rashad Mitchell Show, live on Gyroscope Radio. Ended with a bang with the final episode of the season number 9. So let's get into it. We're going to end it with a bang. Episode number 413, the season finale. Let's get into it. We're going to get into the NBA. Still got a lot going on with the news notes. A lot to get into because there's a lot of these players have signed these max deals. We want to get into why all these max deals, super max deals, are expanding. Why is it's growing so much? Why is it has skyrocketed? So a couple of days ago, 3 days ago rather, Jordan McLaughlin traded guard agreed to a 1 year, $3 million deal to return to the San Antonio Spurs. And then you had Devin Booker signed a 2 year, $145 million maximum contract extension that will last through 2029, 2030. It's the highest annual extension salary in NBA history. And then you have Chet Walker, and Chet Holmgren from the Oklahoma Thunder, the defending champion, has agreed to a fully guaranteed 5 year maximum rookie contract extension that could reach to $250 million. And then you had some trades. July 8th, Washington Wizards traded Kelly Olynyk to the San Antonio Spurs for the lacking random Blake Wesley and a 2026 second round pick. And then you had Paolo Pachero. He got another max deal, super deal, $287 million, man. And the deal includes a player option of first for rookie max since Luka Doncic and Trey Young in 2021. Then Kyle Lowry, he's coming back. He's returning to the Philadelphia 76ers for a 1 year deal. We had a 3-team trade between the Clippers, LA Clippers, Utah Jazz, and Miami Heat, where they traded Norman Powell of the Clippers to Miami, John Collins goes to the Clippers, and Kevin Love and Kyle Anderson in 2027 Clippers second round pick will go to the Jazz. So that was took place by Ryan Wallins. As I continue on with the discussion of the NBA transactions that's going on, Ryan Rollins returned. He agreed to return to the Milwaukee Bucks. Ryan Rollins, the guard, he signed a 3 year, $12 million contract. So that's what went on. And then also the finalization of the transaction becoming the first ever 17 transaction took place. Obviously, Kevin Durant got traded to the Phoenix Suns, but it was made official with Houston along with the Brooklyn Nets, Golden State Warriors, Atlanta Hawks, Los Angeles Lakers, Minnesota Timberwolves, moves that mostly involved second round picks. The trade did also include Clint Capella moving from Atlanta to Houston to sign in a trade deal. So this was like the first ever 17 transaction that went on in the NBA. So that's what went on recently. Also, Houston Rockets, they traded Cam Whitmore to Washington Wizards for the 2 second round picks. So that's what's going on. We still got that stuff going on, that activity going on with the NBA. And that's that. But the thing I want to get into is this the skyrocketing of all these supermax deals. Because when you look at, for example, the contract that SGA got, and rightfully so. I mean, he got 285 million, 285, and these all these people that I just mentioned about the money that they're getting with these max deals. You know what I'm saying? There's something to this. These massive contracts. Devin Booker. I mean, his new deal is huge. It joins the biggest active contracts in NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, and NHL. He signed a 145 million maximum contract extension. It gave him the largest annual average salary in NBA history, and it surpassed that of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He signed a 4-year, $285 million deal. His annual value was $71.25 million on average. So Booker went up than what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did. Now again, you look at Booker. Booker deserves what he gets. This guy's a great player. He's one of the best guards in the league. He became the Suns' all-time leader in point scorer this past season. He has spent all 10 of his NBA seasons with the franchise since he was selected in 2015. Also, Booker averaged 25.6 points last season. His ninth straight campaign with at least 20 points per game. So when you look at what he has done, he deserves his money. But the thing that stands out again is this skyrocketing. Why is this happening? Why are all these, deals happening in the NBA for the skyrocketing of these supermax deals? I mean, you look at Jason Tatum, 314 million, 304 million for Jaylen Brown. Jokic, 272 million. Bradley Beal, I don't think he deserves it, man. Bradley Beal is not a big time player to get all this money that he got, 251 million. He's not a big time player. Giannis Antetokounmpo, at the time, signed a 228.2 million for the years. So that at that time, it was the lowest contract in NBA history. And then you look at the NFL, 330 million, 6 years for, Josh Allen, rightly so, he's the MVP. Dak Prescott, 240 million. Good player, not great, but Jordan Love, these quarterbacks make these contracts. 275 million for Trevor Lawrence. Joe Burrow, obviously he's great. 275. Justin Herbert, good, not great yet. 262.5 million. Lamar Jackson, 260. And I'll say he's a great player, Jackson, because he has, multiple MVPs. So I think you got to consider him a great player, Lamar Jackson. It's just that he has not performed well at the next level as far as the postseason. Hasn't gone to the Super Bowl. But he's 28 years old. So you look at Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is great. He's one of the best quarterbacks of his generation. He's a great quarterback. No question. 2-time MVP, 3-time Pro Bowler. This guy's great. No question. He just got to win a Super Bowl, just go with the greatness that he has. Lamar Jackson. No question about it. He's great at what he does. But these contracts have been massive. 255 for Jalen Hurts. Good player. I don't think he's great yet, but good. And then you look at Watson. Deshaun Watson, I don't think he's great. He got a big contract, 230 million. Juan Soto got 765 million. Rightly so, but he's great at what he does. Ohtani, Dodgers. I'm just going over these contracts, man. This is just amazing. Mike Trout, 426.5 million. Mookie Betts, 365 million. Judge, 360 million. Francisco Lindor, 341. Fernando Tatis, 340 million. Hockey, 112 million for Leon Draisaitl. Shea Weber, 110 million. Sidney Crosby, 104.4. Connor McDavid, 100 million. All such stuff, just amazing. Right, so let me break this down quickly. Why is these surges in this these skyrocketing of these contracts happening? Let me get to that article. Because it's a major deal. We'll get to it. Why is these deals happening? There's an article in ESPN talked about this. The reasons behind these skyrocketing superstar salaries. It says that the top of the NBA salary scale has raced upward because of two key factors: the existence of the Supermax extension, which is the designated veteran extension, and a rising salary cap. See, back in 2017, The new collective bargaining agreement created the Supermax tier of contracts. Now, players who have been in the league for 7 to 8 years, have been with the same team for the duration of their contract, have met certain awards criteria, are eligible to sign extensions that start at 30% of the salary cap. And Gil Alexander became the 14th player to sign such a deal. So the Supermax is extra lucrative because of basketball inflation, which has increased at a much greater rate than general inflation. A decade ago, the salary cap sat at 63 million, which is about 85 million in today's dollars, given national inflation trends. But the 2024-2025 salary cap was 141 million, a two-thirds increase compared to that expectation. These trends have combined to raise the support salaries quicker and higher than ever for sports itself, sports. And they'll continue to skyrocket as the league's new deal, TV deal, comes into effect next season. That will bring in a surge of new money. Last summer, the NBA and its television partners signed an 11-year contract worth $76 billion, nearly $7 billion per season. So the old TV deal, which expired at the end of this year's finals, 2024-2025 finals, was worth $24 billion over 9 years, almost $2.7 billion per season. Now, the new national rights deal will give the NBA about 2.6 times as much money per season as the one it replaced. So the influx of the cash will have a profound impact on the salary cap, and by extension, the Supermax. So last time the NBA added new multiples of national TV money, the salary cap leaped by 34% in one summer, giving the Golden State Warriors enough space to sign Kevin Durant. So to prevent a repeat, the new CBA included cap smoothing measures with maximum cap increases of 10% each season. So the salary cap will indeed increase by 10% next season, raising the starting Supermax salary by 10%. In 2026-2027, the NBA projects a 7% increase as the collapse of regional sports networks reduces the amount of local TV revenue for the league. Lastly, even if it's not dramatic as a one-time 34% increase, repeated 7% or 10% jumps will have similar league-wide effect after a few years. Consider this illustration: the salary cap will pass 150 million for the first time next season, but it could double and pass 300 million by 2033, 2034. Such is the power of the compound interest. Also, it says in this article that the resulting effect of the Supermax salaries is staggering. See, when Stephen Curry, he became the first player to sign a Supermax for the 2017-2018 season. The cap was 99 million. So 35% meant his contract started at 34.7 million. It took 5 years for the Supermax value to rise above 40 million. But then the pace sped up as the salary cap climbed, 3 more years to eclipse 50 million, but projected 2 more years to reach 60 million, and only 1 additional projected year to pass 70 million. So larger first year salaries also mean larger raises over the course of a Supermax deal. This chart shows the projected starting and ending salaries for upcoming class of 4-year Supermaxes, assuming for the sake of this maximal projection an annual 10% cap increase after 2026-27. SGA's contract will start at 16.7 million when it begins in 2027-2028, and it will rise to 79 million by year 4. So other players who sign a Supermax after him will eclipse the 82 million mark, or 1 million per game, by the end of their deals. So first, the Supermax structure will remain the same according to this chart. Use like some assumptions about that, like being the same as the CBA expires at the end of the decade. And second, the league will return to 10% salary cap increasing after 2026-2027. It might not be likely. So here's that same chart with 7% annual increase instead. So that's what it got. Also, it says in this article that there are top candidates that could reach 1 million per game. The best place to reach 1 million per game first are players who will sign Supermax deals like Gil Alexander, who was drafted in 2018. John Morant is the only player to make an all-NBA team, and that was 3 years ago. It seems unlikely that anyone in this draft class will qualify for the Supermax. The next candidate is going to be Tyrese Halliburton and Anthony Edwards. Obviously, Halliburton's out all next season due to the Achilles tear. So Anthony Edwards has made 2 all NBA second teams in a row. That puts him on track to sign a Supermax in the summer of 2027. That can be worth up to 4 years, 345 million, rising above 82 million in the second season. If not Edwards, 2 members of the 2021 class, like Cade Cunningham and Evan Mobley, could be candidates for that. or Scotty Barnes or Alperen Sengun and Franz Wagner. So I'm saying these guys gonna keep climbing. I mean these guys gonna keep getting large sums of money because the salary cap rising. So it's great to be an NBA player. That's why I want to know. Get into this article because this is a major thing. And then also in baseball, you have the same thing going on. Yeah, a player making $1 million per game is unprecedented in basketball, and other sports have already surpassed that number. Look at Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander. They begin to cross 35 million per season, or more than 1 million per game, roughly 32 starts. So it's great to be an athlete if you're good as an athlete. You know, the salary cap also has its ripple effects. As star salaries soar, several possible ripple effects could emerge in the NBA. Low management could become even more of a lightning rod, with less times for such highly compensated players missing games. Leads to predict the criticism you're making more than $1 million tonight, and you're not even playing. Higher salaries could also impact transactions. Some NBA stars could weigh factors other than money when making career decisions. It's natural for competitive athletes to desire the max as a status symbol that booms their bank accounts, but as the numbers keep climbing, is there any tangible quality of life difference for making $75 million per year versus $85 million? If not, stars could be more inclined to test the free agent market instead of re-signing with a team that can offer the super max, knowing they are gaining multi-generational wealth regardless. Others could opt to sign for less than the maximum possible amount to save money for teammates who would otherwise be unable to fit under the punitive second apron. Finally, even if players' salaries remain a constant percentage of the salary cap, the sheer numbers could grow so large that they provoke new conversations about whether the NBA stars are overpaid. Each GA is already worth 9 figures per season, even before his contract catches up. So this is a great article. It's like I said, it's great to be an athlete in the NBA, man. If you're very good and you're talented and you're great, I mean, it's great to be a player in the NBA because you're gonna get the super max. I mean, super max. This is why I wanted to read this article. Why these contracts are skyrocketing? Because the salary cap that's on the rise. And what happened with the collective bargaining agreement 8 years ago, 2017. The collective bargaining agreement agreed to create the Supermax tier of contracts. That's how I got started. You know what I'm saying? So it's great to be a player in the NBA, especially if you're good, really good and great. So that's what I want to get into. So I don't want to be long-winded with that. I want to start the show with that, with the transactions going on in the NBA and also the skyrocketing of the salaries. Well, let's get into sports headlines, and then I want to get into quickly this season preview for the college football and sports. I want to go over the bowl projections that they have in this issue, who they got win national championship, stuff like that. I want to get into a lot of things before I take my full music break songs. But first and foremost, let's get into Wimbledon. If you like tennis, Swiatek, I think her name is. She beat Amanda Anisimova to win the Wimbledon 2025, 6-0 on Saturday, the first women's final at the tournament in 114 years, which one player failed to claim a single game. This young woman, she's from Poland, moved to 6-0 in major finals, adding Wimbledon to the first time of her career at any grass court tournament. So she won. So if you like tennis. Then Dominic Sue, he announced his retirement. He retired today. So he's retiring from the NFL. Dominic Sue. He's 38 years old. He's a good player, not a great player. Played with the Philadelphia Eagles, but he started his career as a Detroit Lion. Played with the Dolphins, the Rams, the Buccaneers. Big time player. You know, he had 10 sacks in his career. And as a rookie, All-Pro, All-AP Rookie of the Year. Dominic Sue was doing his thing. It was the first of 3 All-Pro honors. He was also named to the Hall of Fame All 2010's team. 71.5 sacks, 600 career tackles, adding 1 interception, 5 forced fumbles, 9 fumble recoveries. He returned for a touchdown. Good player. I don't think he's a great player, but It is what it is. He retired today. Louis Sharp. Left tackle of the Cardinals, man. I remember this guy. Long-time Cardinals left tackle Louis Sharp passed away at age 65. So, yeah. He was from Havana, Cuba. Passed away. So all 189 regular season games the Cardinals made the Pro Bowl in 1987, 1988, 1989. He passed away. That's basically it for that. As far as that's concerned. Right, let's get into college football preview and final sports, man. Let's get into it. Now, when we look at the bowl projections in the playoff bracket, they got first of all, they got in the playoff bracket, they got Ohio State against Boise State. They got Ohio State at the 5th seed. The 12th seed is Boise State. Number 6 seed is Georgia against number 11 seed Miami. Number 7 seed Notre Dame against number 10, the 10th seed Oregon. Number 8 LSU and number 9 Alabama. So you got the quarterfinals. They got in the Cotton Bowl the 4th seed Kansas State against number 5 Ohio State. Number 3 Clemson in the Orange Bowl against number 6 Georgia. And then the Rose Bowl, you got number 2 Penn State against number 7 Notre Dame. In the Sugar Bowl, we got number 1 Texas versus number 8 LSU. In the semifinals, they had Fiesta Bowl. They got number 1 Texas versus number 5 Ohio State. In the Peach Bowl, number 2 Penn State against number 6 Georgia. In the national championship game, they got number 1 Texas versus number 2 Penn State. And the national championship is going to go to Texas. According to them, they got Texas Longhorns as the champions, national champions. And they got them as preseason number 1, Texas, due to the fact they got Arch Manning. So they got Texas winning that championship. They got the All-American team. Arch Manning is the number 1 quarterback, followed by running back Jeremiah Love, Notre Dame, Nicholas Singleton, Penn State, Desmond Reed, AP, I don't know what position that means. The wide receivers, Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams for Alabama at wide receiver, Jordan Tyson, Arizona State wide receiver, tight end Eli Stores, the offensive line, Jake Slaughter of Florida, center, offensive line, Spencer Fano from Utah, Caden Proctor, Alabama, Francis Maui Goa, Miami, Florida Hurricanes, Ala Vega, Wyoming, Penn State offensive lineman. Then the defense they got for the first team, Dylan Stewart, South Carolina, Colin Simmons of Texas, TJ Parker of Clemson, Peter Woods of Clemson, that's the defensive lineman. The linebacking core, they got Anthony Hill Jr. of Texas, Weeks of LSU, Kyle Lewis of Pittsburgh, Torian York of Texas A&M. In the secondary, you got Leonard Moore of Notre Dame, Jamad McCoy, Tennessee, Caleb Downs of safety, Ohio State, and Dylan Dennerman of Oregon. Specialists, you got Dominic Zavida of Michigan, punter Brett Thorson of Georgia, kick returner Keelan Marion of Miami, Florida, and Josh Cameron, he's the punt returner. So that's the first team offense and defense specialists for the All-American team from the African Sports. Then they got the second team, Cade Klubnik at quarterback, running backs, Makai Hughes, Isaac Brown, Louisville, Katron Allen, I think he's a running back. Elijah Starrat, Indiana, Antonio Williams, wide receiver for Clemson, Cornell Tate, a wide receiver, Jake Indries of Texas, the offensive lineman, Logan Jones, Iowa, Parker Bracewood, Alabama Casey, Boise State, Armage Reed Adams, and Emil Wagner, Notre Dame. Defensive lineman, Mikael Kamara, Dennis Sutton, Penn State, Mateo Ukulele, Oregon, Ruben Bain Jr., Miami, Florida, Satarian Parkins, Ole Miss, Sonny Styles, Ohio State, CJ Allen, Georgia, Austin Romaine, Kansas State, Chandler Rivers, Duke, DeAngelo Pons, Indiana, Michael Taffy, Texas, and safety KJ Bolden, Georgia. Specialist Will Farron, BYU, kicker Roz Dickin, Iowa, punter Varian Brown, LSU. Kick return. Punt return. Caden White. Okay, that's the second All-American team. Third All-American team, you got Garrett Nussmeier. Running back Bryson Washington, Baylor. Jonah Coleman, Washington. Dylan Edwards, Kansas State. The receiving core, Cam Coleman, Auburn. Makai Lemon, USC. Cornell Tate, Clemson. Tight end, Justin Jolly. The offensive lineman, Apani Lalulu, Oregon. Jordan Seaton, Colorado. Jennings Dunker, Iowa. Caden Green, Missouri. Blake Miller, Clemson. Defense, they got Trey White, San Diego State. Tariq Sapp, defensive lineman. Keldrick Falk, Auburn. LT Overton, Alabama. Linebacker Aiden Fisher, Indiana. Gabe Jackas, Illinois. Drake Bowen, Notre Dame. Deontay Lawson, Alabama. Linebacker. Malik Muhammad, Texas. Avian Terrell, Clemson. Coy Parich, Minnesota. Safety, Isaiah Nwakabia, SMU. And specialists, we got Peyton Woodring, punter, kicker, and Palmer Williams, Baylor, punter. Caden Litchine, Iowa, kick return. K. Shakes, Arkansas. Third team. There you go. Third team. That's the third team, second team, first team All-American team. So you got that going on. Now you got to know the unit rankings and not get into that. What I'm going to is let's look at the national unit rankings as a whole. As far as the quarterbacks, they got Texas at number 1, Clemson 2, LSU 3, South Carolina 4, 5, Florida, Penn State 6, 7, Ohio State 8, Arizona State 9, Miami 10, Oregon. The running backs, Penn State is number 1, Notre Dame 2, 3, Texas A&M 4, Oregon 5, Georgia 6, Louisville 7, Baylor 8, Florida 9, and Michigan 10. For wide receivers, got Ohio State, number 2, Clemson, Alabama 3, Auburn 4, LSU 5, Texas 6, 7, Oregon 8, Georgia 9, Arizona State 10, Penn State. The offensive line, Notre Dame got the best offensive line according to the national unit rankings for his FM Sports. Season previous concerned, they got number 1 Notre Dame, number 2 Penn State, number 3 Texas A&M, number 4 Miami, number 5 Florida, number 6 Alabama, number 7 Clemson, number 8 Texas, number 9 Ohio State, number 10 Iowa. Defensive line, Texas is number 1, Clemson is number 2, Penn State 3, 4 is Georgia, 5 is Alabama, Notre Dame is 6, number 7 Iowa State, number 8 Michigan, number 9 Oklahoma, number 10 Miami. The linebacking core, those units got Texas at number 1, Georgia at number 2, 3 Ohio State, number 4 Notre Dame, number 5 Clemson, number 6 Alabama, 7 Pittsburgh, number 8 Oregon, number 9 LSU, Michigan number 10. Defensive backfield, the defensive backs, number 1 Texas, Alabama 2, Notre Dame 3, Ohio State 4, Penn State 5, Georgia 6, number 7 Clemson, Tennessee 8, number 9 Illinois, number 10 LSU. So we're going to look at these unit rankings. This is the reason why Athletic Sports, rightly so, thinks Texas is going to win that championship, because when you look at these rankings, all feature Texas. Like Texas is number 1 in quarterbacks, obviously because of Arch Manning, and Texas number 3 as far as running backs. As far as wide receivers, they number 6. As far as offensive line, they got them at number 8. Defensive line, they got them number 1. Linebackers and defensive backs, they number 1. So this is the reason why Athlon Sports, rightly so, feels that Texas is going to win that championship, because they're so strong in a lot of units, especially on the defensive end. They number 1 on the defensive line. They got the number 1 defensive line in the country. Number 1 linebacking core in the country in Texas. Texas got the number 1 defensive backfield according to Athlon Sports. So they all over the place on the defensive end. They number 1. On the offensive side of the ball, they number 1 in quarterback, number 3 in running back, number 6 in wide receiver. They number 8 in offensive line. So they in the top 10. So that's why they think Texas is gonna win it. They think Texas is gonna win it all because of that. All right. Let's look at the who they have as the Heisman watch. We're gonna look at the 10 best games, and then I'm gonna look at I ain't gonna get into the transfers. I'm not getting into the head coaches. We're gonna hot seat breakout players. I'm not gonna get into that yet. getting closer to the break. So I may continue with the second half of the show because this is my last show for the season. So what I'm gonna do is I keep it going with the Heisman watch and the 10 best games of 2025, and then I ain't gonna go over the transfer because there's so much to cover. So I'm gonna take my break. Yes, time is up. Take a break. So I'm gonna continue on with this preview from Avalon Sports of the season preview of college football. Then I'm gonna do the NFL college football. We'll do also mixed in with USC final schedule. He was fighting tonight, and then the Major League Baseball go over the standings because the Major League Baseball season is gonna be at halftime for us, that having the first half be ended. You got the All-Star break coming up. Got the MLB All-Star game coming up on the 15th of July. So that's it. Go on to that thing. Continue on with the college football and NFL the rest of the way and close out the show. So I got a lot to cover, man. There's a lot to cover because college football is right around the corner. The season starts next month. I believe it starts let's see. No, they got the schedule when the season's gonna start. I think it starts August 23rd, 24th, something like that. Obviously got August 31st, August 30th. You got games gonna be played. But I think the season starts before that. I think. So gotta double check. But that's it, man. I'm gonna take my full music break songs. Come back more of the Rashad Show, the final episode, season finale. Ended on a great note. Hope you enjoyed the first half of the show. Got into the NBA aspect. Talked about why is these Supermax deals skyrocketing. You know what I'm saying? Why is this happening? It's great to be an NBA player, man, in today's league, especially you're a great player and you're doing your thing. It's great to be an NBA player because you get that Supermax deal. You know what I'm saying? I broke that down, talked about sports headlines and stuff like that, and I also got into the college football preview from Avalon Sports. So we can cover right here. And again, they got Texas winning the national championship. Simple as that. They got so many guys, the units are dominated by Texas, so Texas is their year to win it. Win over that. They got Texas and Penn State in the national championship game. That's the thing with that. So that's it for that. So that's it for the first half. Come back from break and continue over the second half of the show. So the Rashad Show comes on every single Saturday afternoon from 2 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on Gyroscope Radio. Be right back.
to wonder. Yes, I can clearly see today that you will always be the one. Oh, I can't keep holding back my love. Oh, I can't keep holding back my love. No, I can't keep holding back my love. I'm looking for you there, wondering if you care. I can't keep holding back my love. Oh, I can't keep holding back my love. No, I can't keep holding back my love. There's so much I wanna say in every single way. I can't hold it back. No, I can't keep holding back. No, I can't keep holding back. Keep holding back. There's so much I wanna say in every single way. I can't keep holding back my love. Oh, I can't keep holding back my love. Oh, I can't keep holding back my love. There's so much I want to say in every single way. I can't keep holding back, keep holding back. No, I can't keep holding back, keep holding back. No, I can't keep holding back, keep holding back.
Welcome back to the 413th episode of the Rashad Mitchell Show live on Job Scope Radio. Hope you enjoyed the first half. It's a great first half. Talk about sports headlines, the NBA, why these simple max deals are skyrocketing, and I talk about that, and talk about the college football aspect of things. So I'm gonna park it right here with the college football season preview and get into UFC fighting schedule, the episode number 413. Let's get into who's fighting today, and get to the baseball and go back into the F9 season preview of the college football season. So hopefully you enjoy the content, because college football season is coming up. So just want to whip your appetite for the new season that's coming up next month. The season gonna start August 23rd, I believe. I think that's gonna be on the docket. So just want to whet your appetite. So first of all, let's get to the UFC fighting schedule. Who's fighting tonight? We got the heavyweight main event between Derek Lewis, 28-12 record, 1-0 decision against Taliesin Teixeira. He's undefeated at 8-0. Then you got the welterweight co-main event. The main card, you got Stephen Thompson, 17-8 and 1 draw against Gabriel Bonfim, 17-1. Then you got the featherweight division. You got Calvin Kattar, 23-9. Steve Garcia, 17-5. Featherweight Nate Landwehr, 18-6, and Morgan Charrier, 20-11-1. Heavyweight Vitor Petrino, 11-2 against Austin Lane, 13-6, 1-0 decision. Then we got the light heavyweight division. We got Junior Tafa, 6-3 against Tuca Tacos, 10-5. That's basically it on the docket, man, for today. All these fights gonna be fought at 9:00 p.m. according to what I see. So that's the main card. The preliminary card, we got at 6:00 p.m. We got Max Griffin, 20-11 against Chris Curtis, 31-12, and no decision. Then we got welterweight division. We got 6:00 p.m. Jake Matthew, 21-7. We got Chidi Nojo Kani, 25-10, 1-0 decision. Got that fight coming up. 6:00. Then the women's flyweight division, got Lauren Murphy, 16-6, and we got Eduarda Mora, 11-1. And we got in the heavyweight division, Kennedy Zekchukwu, 14-5 against Walter Walker, 13-1. Mitch Ramirez, lightweight division. Mitch Ramirez was 8-2 against Mike Davis, who's 11-3. In the strawweight division for the women's concern, Fatima Klein, 7-1 against Melissa Martinez, 8-1. Got some cancellation. Got cancellation. Atiba Gaudier, 7-1 against Robert Valentin, 11-5, 1-0 decisions. So that's what's going on with the UFC fight schedule. That's what's coming up. If you love boxing, love UFC fighting schedule, this is what you're going to get tonight. All right, so done with that. Let's get into the baseball. Again, All-Star break is coming up. MLB All-Star game is on Tuesday. And how about Kyle Raleigh? Kyle Raleigh for Seattle Mariners is on fire, man. He may hit 75 home runs at the pace he's going, possibly. I mean, this guy got 38 home runs already. 38 home runs. The catcher from Seattle, they beat Detroit last night. He hit those 37 and 38 home runs. He hit 2 home runs. He moved within 1 of Barry Bonds' 2001 Major League record for home runs before the All-Star break. Also, he tied the record for 37 with Reggie Jackson before the All-Star break, set by Reggie Jackson in 1969, and matched by Chris Davis in 2013. So this guy's on a roll right now. Never heard of this guy, but this guy's doing his thing for the Mariners, doing his thing. So keep your eyes on him if you love home runs. It was the 8th multi-home run game that Riley has had this season. Could possibly win MVP. I don't think he's gonna get it. I think he's gonna probably give it to Aaron Judge. But he tied Reggie Jackson for the most such games before the All-Star break. For his franchise history, he tied Ken Griffey Jr. for the most multi-home run games in Mariners franchise history. So this guy's playing excellent baseball, and let's see what their record is. Right now, their record is 49-45, second in the AL West. You can possibly get it as a wild card, but right now, man, this guy's lighting it up. I mean, gotta go back to the days of Ken Griffey Jr., go back to the days of Alex Rodriguez. I mean, how these guys, put up so many home runs, especially Ken Griffey Jr., so it gets no better than that. So I want to start with that. Get things started. That's basically it. All right, let's get to the standings. Toronto is 55-39. 2 games up over the New York Yankees. They are playing very well, the Yankees. And they won 5 in a row. And how about the Boston Red Sox? They playing great baseball. They're 51-45. Won 5 games up, 5 games out. Toronto, they won 8 in a row. They may have the longest winning streak in baseball. Yes, they do. So, Toronto's in the top. Detroit is definitely running away with it in that division. They got the best record in baseball, 59-36. They lost 2 in a row, but they got the best record in baseball still. 12.5 games up over Minnesota, Kansas City, Cleveland, and the White Sox. They got losing records. And Houston's 55-39, but they lost 4 in a row though. But they still have a 6-game cushion over Seattle. And then you go to the National League. It's a battle for the National League East with Philadelphia and the Mets. The Philadelphia Phillies are half a game out over the Mets, 54-41. Then the Cubs are 55-39, 1 game up over Milwaukee. That's the type division right there. So you look at the East, the National League East and Central, it's very tight with the Cubs and Milwaukee in the Central and the East, with the Phillies and the Mets. But the defending champion, man, the LA Dodgers are not playing well. They are on a major slump. They've lost 7 in a row. They've won only 3 of their last 10 games, so the Dodgers are not looking good. They're 56-39 still. Got the best record in the National League, but they're only 4 games up over the San Francisco Giants. And the Giants only 4 games out. The Padres 4.5 out. So what's going on with the Dodgers, man? The Dodgers are not looking good right now as what they're doing. So look at the batting average leaders. Obviously, Judge been at the top most of the year, 354 batting average. Riley has definitely taken over the home run category with 38. Has the most RBIs, 81, 122 hits for Judge. Caballero, Tampa Bay got 31 stolen bases. Freed has 11 wins for the Yankees. I think that's his name, Freed. Skins, 2.01 ERA. Suarez saves for the Padres, 28 saves. Screwball got the most strikeouts in Detroit, rightfully so. 153 strikeouts. That's why they got the best record in baseball. And the quality starts, man. You have Webb, for the San Francisco Giants. 15 quality starts. All right, let's get to the team stats real quick. A tie between the Blue Jays of Toronto and Houston Astros for the best batting average in baseball, 260. Got that going on. The Yankees got 149 home runs. You got that going on. You got the Dodgers got the most RBIs, 493, 851 hits. For the Boston Red Sox, you got that going on. 123 stolen bases. It was Tampa Bay. 59 wins for the Detroit Tigers, and the Texas Rangers got 3.30 ERA. And you got the 33 saves, San Diego Padres. And you got the 901 strikeouts for the Houston Astros. And you got the Philadelphia Phillies, 2 quality starts. That's it for that. So I'm done with that. So that's it for the baseball landscape of things. Right now, Detroit's handling their business right now. You got the best record in baseball. And what about those Dodgers, man? Dodgers are slump as they go to the All-Star break. They're not looking good. They lost 7 straight baseball games. So they've made major slump right now as they face the Giants in this, I think it's a 3-game series. I think they played last night. They had to play last night. Let's double check before I get back to the college football preview. All right, yesterday, Dodgers and the Giants. Did they play last night? Yes, they did. Yes. San Francisco won 8-7. So, see what happens with the Dodgers. See if they can get it right. But like I said, All-Star break is coming up. All-Star game is on Fox. American League versus National League on Tuesday, July 15th. All right, so let's get back to the college football preview, man. Got plenty of time to cover that, along with the National Football League preview from Anthony Sports. Got that in front of me because I'm not going to be here until September. So I want to get out the way what they think is going to happen. Let's get into the Heisman watch. They got Arch Manning. Obviously, he's a household name. Again, his last name's Manning, so that carries a lot of weight. Look at Archie Manning, Eli Manning, Peyton Manning. This is part of that family, man. They like the Kennedys. So Manning is a highly recruited guy. A lot of hype around this guy. That's why they think they're going to win a championship. He's red shirt. Freshman has a family name, so there's a lot of hype around this gentleman. You got Garrett Nussmeier. He could be a Heisman Trophy candidate. Cade Klubnik of Clemson. He could be a Heisman Trophy candidate. Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State. Quarterback Lenoris Sellers of South Carolina. Dante Moore, Oregon quarterback, could be a Heisman Trophy candidate. Quarterback Julian Sayin, Iowa State. He could be a Heisman Trophy quarterback. DJ Lagway, Florida. He'd be a Heisman Trophy candidate. Drew Allard from Penn State. He'd be a Heisman Trophy candidate. And quarterback Carson Beck, who will be replacing Cam Ward's his success they had with Miami. He's going to be a possible Tier 1 Heisman Trophy candidate. You got the Tier 2 Sam Levet, quarterback of Arizona State. Running back Jeremiah Love, Notre Dame. Make a case, man. Jeremiah Love of Notre Dame may be the best running back in college football this year. Gunnar Stockton of Georgia, quarterback Bryant Williams of Alabama. Don't forget other guys like I don't mention in a sense. Kevin Jennings of SMU, quarterback Austin Simmons, Ole Miss, quarterback Marcel Reed, Texas A&M, quarterback John Mateer, Oklahoma, quarterback Dylan Raiola, Nebraska, quarterback Miller Moss, Louisville, quarterback Luke Altmaier, Illinois, Fernando Mendoza, Indiana, a quarterback, and 2 running backs, Katron Allen, Penn State, and Nicholas Singleton. So, Rob, let's get into the top 10 best games of 2025 college football season, man. It's a lot of good games they got on this list. We're going to start with number 10. Go number 10 to number 1. Number 10, we got Penn State at Ohio State. That's a big game on November 1st, according to Athlon Sports. Even a year when Penn State put it all together, made to the college football playoff semifinal, James Franklin's squad still fell to Ohio State and Happy Valley. Ohio native Drew Allard leads the Nittany Lions into the horseshoe, Ohio State, late in the year for potentially pivotal Big Ten clash. That's the 1st of November. The Buckeyes have won 8 straight in the series, so including the past 6 in Columbus. So, yeah, that's definitely a big game as far as that's concerned. See what Penn State does in that game. Yeah, August 23rd. The college football season start August 23rd. All right, so let's continue on. The number 9 best game to keep your eyes on for college football, according to Athlon Sports, is Arizona State at Iowa State on November 1st, because the first ever meeting between the Sun Devils and Cyclones in the Big 12 title game last season saw Arizona State punch its ticket to the college football playoffs. So you got two quarterbacks, long shot Heisman Trophy contenders, Sam Levitt, or quarterback, and Rocco Beck, both back. Then you got number 8, no surprise here, the LSU at Alabama on November 8th. The Crimson Tide embarrassed the Tigers in Baton Rouge last fall. The wheels subsequently fell off for both teams. Head coaches like Brian Kelly and Kalen DeBoer both have national championship expectations that they have to yet to deliver on. So the win in this rivalry go a long way toward a return to the college football playoff. Then we gotta go to, that's for November 8th, LSU at Alabama. Number 7, Oregon at Penn State. September 27th, very interesting game. You got Penn State returned a good deal of production from the roster. Almost went to the national championship game. Oregon's reloaded like a few teams can reload. Here's hoping there could be a whiteout for this conference championship matchup. Then that number 6, the 6th best game of the college football season 2025 from Athlon Sports is number 6, Alabama at Georgia. Definitely a big time game. September 27th. Crimson Tide still got the best of the Bulldogs in a down year, thanks to wide receiver Ryan Williams' late game heroics. And Georgia hosts Alabama between the hedges and Bama's SEC opener, an opportunity for the Dogs to buck their continued struggles in this Starry series. And at number 5, we're going to get into the top 5 best games of 2025. Now, this is an old rivalry, man. You got to be a certain age to remember this rivalry, how intense this rivalry was back in the day. But number 5, Notre Dame at Miami. They will be playing each other August 31st. In a renewal of the famed Catholics versus convicts rivalry, the Irish head to South Florida for the first time since 2007 to take on the Hurricanes in the season opener. National championship runner-up Notre Dame has serious designs on winning it all this season, while Miami Hurricanes is gunning for its first college football playoff appearance, man. From the 80s all the way to 1990, this was the rivalry that you had to keep your eyes on, especially in '88. The fight that they had, Catholics versus convicts. Notre Dame won 31-30, ended Miami's 36-game regular season winning streak. I think they had won like 20 games in a row. And Miami was the national champion in South Bend. That was a great football game. And they met in '89. Miami won 27-10. On November 25th, 1989, they won that game 27-10. I don't think they scored an offensive touchdown. The Rocket got shut down. Ricky Borders with Cortez King, that defensive line, Russell Maryland. That was known for 3rd down and 43. Craig Erickson went to Randall Hill and he Craig made a catch for 44 yards. And that game was known for that, 3rd down and 43. In that matchup at the old Orange Bowl. And that was revenge because Miami had lost the year before, kept Miami from winning the national championship. So 3rd and 43. That's what that was about at that time. 3rd down and 43. And that was an epic battle. That was a famous play. Notre Dame trying to stop them, and they was able to convert on 43 yards. In fact, 44 yards. Very improbable. Miami won 27-10. One of the most memorable plays in the rivalry. So and then you look at 1990. Rocky Ishmael returned kickoff like 94 yards for a touchdown. And that was a big time return by him. And they was able to win that game, 29-20. And that was it for the rivalry. And the rivalry ended, and it inspired, it came back, in the Sun Bowl. They played in the Sun Bowl back in 2010. In 2012 or something like that, they played in Chicago. They usually don't play each other that much, Notre Dame, Miami, but they will be playing again this coming August 31st. They last played in 2017, where Miami won. See, the score was 41-3, something like that, 41-10. That was just a beatdown. They just beat them down really good. You know what I'm saying? So that rivalry is very intense, man. It's just that they don't play each other like they should, like they ought to be playing. It's very intense rivalry. There's no love lost. Had a lot of racial elements in it. Black, the swagger, that Notre Dame, that Miami had, and the establishment. The establishment the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, the Touchdown Jesus, the Four Horsemen, Luke Rockney. They were the standard of what college football is supposed to be about, quote unquote. So they even did a ESPN 30 for 30 on that Catholics versus convicts matchup. They did a ESPN 30 for 30. Think about that. That shows you that rivalry was so intense across racial lines, across a lot of things, man. That's why that rivalry was so good to watch. That ESPN, the 30 for 30, they do these documentaries. They did a documentary about the Catholics versus convicts matchup. Notre Dame, Miami. They did that. They talked about that. The Catholics versus convicts. The 30 for 30. So that's something that's very, very intense at that time. Like I said, that's the last time they met at the time. I think it was 41-3 last time Miami. See the last meeting. Just want to be correct on this. That's the number 5 matchup. Now I don't disagree with it because Notre Dame is back. They got a lot of talent coming back, and they got a big time running back. And Jeremiah Love, offensive line, may be the best in the country. So they're looking good, and they're gonna be a top 10 team most of the year. And Miami's trying to get back to that, dominance, being relevant again. You know what I'm saying? It's been a long time coming since they won the national championship. So you look at this rivalry, Notre Dame has 17 wins, Miami has 8 wins, so they still lead the series 17-8. That these, two historic franchises, these blue bloods. So you look at the last time they met. Last time they met was 41-8 was the final score. November 11th, 2017, Miami won 41-8. And then they met in 2016. Notre Dame won 30-27 at South Bend, August 29th, 2016. Then they met in Chicago. They lost 41-3, Miami. Then they played in the Sun Bowl. Notre Dame won that game 33-17. So, and they last met, like in the regular season, before they met in the regular season 2012, 1990, October 20th, 29-20. So Notre Dame had won actually the last 4 meetings before Miami beat them in 2017. So it's been 8 years ago. But this rivalry was very intense. Very intense from 1985 to 1990. It's very intense. So that's all I got to say about that. Let's go to number 4. Ohio State at Michigan. No surprise there. That's the 4th best game to keep your eyes on this year in college football. If not now, then win Brian Day and the Buckeyes. Wolverines extend their winning streak. The rivalry to 4 games last fall, putting more pressure on the day before Ohio State won it all. This series shifts to Ann Arbor this season, where Michigan could be charting out a true freshman quarterback. If these teams have taught us anything, is that anything can happen in the game. Then number 3, we got Texas at Georgia. November 15th, the Longhorns ran through their inaugural season in the SEC almost unscathed. Almost the Bulldogs beat Texas twice, once in Austin, again in Atlanta in the conference championship game. Texas heads to Athens late in the year, November 15th, for a game that could swing the SEC standings, maybe even a Heisman race. Then number 2, the second best game in college football according to Athens Sports is in August. We got August 30th, LSU at Clemson. This is a great game. Garrett Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik. They might just be the 2 top quarterbacks this year. One of them will get in every leg on the Heisman race in his Death Valley duel. These 2 Tigers teams have struggled out of the gate in recent years. Clemson has lost 2 straight season openers, but LSU has lost its past 5. Something has to give. And the number 1 best game in 2025, no surprise here, is Texas at Ohio State on August 30th. For the 2nd season in a row, the Longhorns will take on the defending national champions on the road. The Buckeyes bounced Texas in the college football playoff semifinal at the Cotton Bowl. So there's a revenge component in play here. The Sonic season opener, that was as the first official game of the Arch Manning era in hostile territories. So this is what it's all about. This guy, Arch Manning, all this hype around this guy. This is our first game in the Arch Manning era. A lot of high expectations. So keep an eye on that game next month, August 30th. Now I'm gonna get to the top transfers. I'm gonna skip that. As far as like new head coach, you got Rich Rodriguez with West Virginia. Matter of fact, he used to coach the Mountaineers. The West Virginia native went 60 and 26 from 2001 to 2007 with the Mountaineers before making the big jump to Michigan. He left Michigan, went to Arizona, then he went to Jacksonville State, so he's kind of like back to West Virginia. Then you got Bronco Mendenhall. He's coaching Utah State. Bill Belichick, obviously, coaching North Carolina. Barry Odom with Purdue. Dan Mullins with UNLV. Charles Huff with Southern Miss. Casey Keeler at Temple. Tim Albin, Charlotte. Matt Ince, Fresno State. Scott Frost, Central Florida. Jake Dickert, Wake Forest. Florida Atlanta. Zach Kitley. Willie Simmons, FIU. Jason Eck, New Mexico. Matt Drinkle, Central Michigan. Joe Harris Samayak, UMass. He's a New Jersey native. He's going to be coaching UMass. Jimmy Rogers, Washington State. Eddie George has a lot of name recognition. Obviously played with Tennessee Oilers and I forgot who else he played with. I think they played with Cowboys. But Eddie George is coaching Bowling Green. He went 24 and 22 at Tennessee State. I know he went to another team to coach. Coach at SBCU. But Eddie George is now a coach at Bowling Green. So I definitely got to bring a lot of name recognition when you talk about Eddie George. So Eddie George is a guy. He's going to be coaching Bowling Green University. He's a new head coach. So he paid his dues to go to another team to coach. So you got that. You got Scott Abel, Rice, Jerry Mack, Kennesaw State, Brian Smith, Ohio, Trey Lamb, Tulsa, Dow Legans, Appalachian State, Phil Longo, Sam Houston, Tony Gibson, Marshall, and Mike Umarovich, Ball State, Blake Harrell, East Carolina, and Charles Kelly, Jacksonville State. Right, let's get into the coaches who are on the hot seat. Interesting. Okay, we got Hugh Freeze. He's on the hot seat. I'm not gonna give you reasons why, because I want to get to the NFL preview. They got Brett Brennan, Arizona is on the hot seat. Sonny Cumbie, Louisiana Tech is on the hot seat. Tony Elliott, Virginia is on the hot seat. Luke Fickle, Wisconsin is on the hot seat. Mike Gundy of Oklahoma State is on the hot seat. Mike Norvell is on the hot seat. Billy Napier, Florida is on the hot seat. Sam Pittman, Arkansas is on the hot seat. Brent Pryde, Virginia Tech is on the hot seat. Scott Satterfield, Cincinnati is on the hot seat. Trent Dilfer is on the hot seat for UAB. Brent Venables is on the hot seat for Oklahoma. The other coaches that I don't mention may be on the hot seat, possibly getting warm. Timmy Chang, Hawaii. Brian Kelly, LSU. Mike Loxley, Maryland. Joe Moorhead, Akron. Ricky Ronnie, Old Dominion. The King Raleigh, USC. Mark Stoops, Kentucky. Justin Wilcox, California. Now here are the breakout players for 2025 according to Athlon Sports. Keep your eyes on Dylan Raiola of Nebraska, the quarterback. Quarterback Dante Moore, Oregon. Quarterback Austin Simmons, Ole Miss. Quarterback Damon Williams, Washington. Running backs Gideon Davison. Jaden Greathouse, Notre Dame, wide receiver. Keep your eyes on him. Mike Matthews of Tennessee, wide receiver. Tight end Luke Reynolds of Penn State. Replacing Tyler Warren. That'll be big shoes to fill, but they think he's going to be a breakout player. Offensive lineman Jordan Seaton of Colorado. Edric Houston, Ohio State. Defensive lineman LT Overton, Alabama. Defensive lineman KJ Bolden, safety, Georgia. Right, let's get into the 15 things to keep your eyes on to watch in the 2025 college football season. Right, number 15, changes coming to the college football playoff. Although the 12-team playoff was a massive success, changes could be coming this fall. Conference commissioners met throughout the offseason to explore tweaks to the seeding process, set up conference champions guaranteed a top 4 spot, a switch to a straight seeding model to match the college football playoff selection committee top 25 is under discussion. The setup for 26 beyond remains unsettled. Expansion to 14 or 16 teams, as well as a set number of guaranteed spots for power conferences, is under consideration. Number 14, we got can any team catch Boise State in a group of 5 ranks? Obviously got Heisman runner-up Ashton Jeanty is in the NFL, but the path to a spot in the playoff for a group of 5 teams still runs through Boise State. Boise State Broncos are a heavy favorite in the Mountain West, but they have marquee matchups against South Florida in Week 1 and Notre Dame on October 4th. So Boise State's fall short, hypothetically speaking, the champion Americans like to benefit from South Florida, Army, Navy, Memphis, Tulane, UTSA, provide the league with a deep group of contenders. Massive attrition and graduation of the transfer portal hit all of the top contenders in the Sun Belt. James Madison's Athlon's preseason favorite, Bob Chesley's team has non-conference opportunities at Louisville, Liberty to build a playoff case. In the MAC, got Toledo, Miami, Ohio, Buffalo, projected to lead the charge for the league's first playoff bid. Despite both teams navigating major turnover from 24, Liberty, WKU, I think that's West Kentucky, I think. Might be wrong about that. But the preseason favorites in Conference USA. Then we got the 13th storyline to keep your eyes on to watch. 13th things to watch is the Sunshine Intrigue. You look at the playoff drop for the Big Three, Miami, Florida, and Florida State. And the Sunshine State is now at 10 years. The Seminoles never recovered from the playoff snub in 2023. They went 10-2-10. They won only 2 games last year. They were 2-10. The program's worst record since 1-10 in 1974. The regression placed head coach Mike Novell on a hot seat for this season, 2025. And that pressure was evident in the staff overhaul that included new play calls on offense Gus Malzahn, and defense Tony White, along with more than 15 additions from the transfer portal. When you look at Florida, they seem poised for the coaching change after early season blowout losses to Miami and Texas A&M. But behind star quarterback who's rising, DJ Lagway, Billy Napier won a November vote of confidence and guided the team to 4 straight wins to end 2024. The Gators should have the best all-around team with Napier's tenure in 2025, but Lagway's health will be an ongoing concern as he was limited in spring practice. Now you got road trips to LSU, Miami, Texas A&M, and Ole Miss, along with home dates with Tennessee, Florida State, and Texas, and the neutral site affair against Georgia, exceeding last year's 8 wins, won't be easy. And finally, the Miami Hurricanes nearly ended the Sunshine State's playoff drought last year, but a late season loss to Syracuse kept Mario Cristobal's team out of the 12-team field. Cristobal continues to amass talent in Coral Gables, who enjoyed the transfer of Carson Beck, a quarterback in the ACC's #1 signing class for the 3rd year in a row. Then number 12, we got Clemson, the heavy favorite to the top the ACC. Now in 2023, Clemson was 9-4. The program's first year with fewer than 10 wins in 2010. Raised plenty of doubts about Dabo Swinney's team from the top of college football. But they dismissed that last year when they won 10 games, the ACC title, and they lost 38-24 to Texas in the first round of playoffs. So we got Cade Klubnik, who's one of the college football's best quarterbacks, He emerged like that last year, and now he's going to be like one of the front runners for the Heisman. So an improving talented group of playmakers that received to support Klubnik, along with the defense poised to improve under new coordinator Tom Allen, the Tigers are the heavy preseason favorites in the ACC, legitimate national title contenders, and Swinney even dipped into the portal for help at receiver and defensive end. Miami Hurricanes is likely the biggest challenger to Clemson behind transfer quarterback Carson Beck. SMU was the ACC's biggest surprise in 2024, returning dynamic quarterback Kevin Jennings. Mustangs lost a wealth of experience and talent, making a repeat of last season unlikely. If the ACC produces another SMU-like surprise contender at 25, Georgia Tech, Louisville stands out as candidates. Florida State's potential rebound after the miserable 24 season, Syracuse's ability to reload after a 10-win campaign. Obviously got North Carolina's debut under Bill Belichick will impact just how deep this conference is in 2025. And number 11, we got pressure building in the SEC. The Big Ten sent shockwaves throughout the Southeast by dislodging SEC from the top of the football pyramid and college football in each of the past 2 seasons. The downturn at the top is likely temporary. The transfer portal, NIL, have negatively impacted some of the SEC top teams in retaining depth. The gross angst in the SEC started at LSU. Although Brian Kelly is 29-11 since 2022, the Bayou Bengals have yet to make a playoff appearance. Garrett Nussmeier, quarterback of LSU, returns, and there's optimism for a major step forward on defense in coordinator Blake Baker's 2nd year. The program also made significant investment in NIL resources to attract from the nation's top portal classes. For Alabama, this area interesting. Kalen DeBoer, the underachieved with a 9-4 record. Replacing Nick Saban wasn't supposed to be easy, but the pressure on DeBoer will significantly grow. The Nazis are fewer than 10 wins. Hugh Freeze has improved the talent level at Auburn. His seat is beginning to warm up, though. following back-to-back losing seasons and 11-14 overall record. And then you got last year's 6-7 mark was the second losing season for Oklahoma in 3 years under Brent Venables. The program took steps to fix its problems, hiring offensive coordinator Ben Arbuckle, upgrading the roster through the portal, quarterback John Mateer, running back Jaden Ott. Sooners hope those adjustments, plus a stand-up defense, give Venables enough pieces to get back on track in year 2 in the SEC. Number 10, another active year for the coaching carousel. That's what they got. And you got Rich Rodriguez to West Virginia, Bill Belichick to North Carolina, Barry Odom to Purdue, Scott Frost to UCF. So they were like 31 jobs changed hands after 23, and 30 programs have a new head coach entering 2025. The bulk of the change, 23 out of 30, came in a group of 5 ranks, with nearly half the teams in the MAC, 6 American to 6, dealing with the change at the top. Also, you got Eddie George, former NFL standout coach in Bowling Green, and Michael Vick, the quarterback for he's played with the Atlanta Falcons and other teams. I think he played with the Philadelphia Eagles, but anyway, he's coaching Norfolk State. And Deshaun Jackson, remember him? He's a wide receiver. He's playing in the NFL. He coached in Delaware State. We're hired as FCS programs, at those programs, FCS programs. And for the FBS 136 current head coaches, only 18 were hired at their current job before the 19th season. So the pressure to win now has always existed, but it's even more prominent in the NIL era. Winning equals optimism and donations, which translates into resources to retain talent or recruit more through the portal or higher school ranks. With the hot seat list includes several SEC jobs like Florida State, Wisconsin, Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech. The rate of the change isn't likely to slow after the 2025 season. That's number 10. Number 9, which teams could be this year's Indiana and SMU as playoff surprises? Arizona State, Boise State, Indiana, Penn State, SMU, and Tennessee made their first appearance in the college football playoff last year. But can it be South Carolina? Can it be Florida? Can it be Missouri? Can it be Texas A&M? Ole Miss? Maybe can it be Nebraska as a team that could possibly get in? Maybe it can be Kansas State, Utah, Baylor, Iowa State, Texas Tech. Maybe Miami could get in. Maybe Louisville or Georgia Tech. Number 8, we got Ohio State and Michigan. That's the number 8 things to watch. No surprise there. This is a great rivalry. Could have Julian Sayin against what's his name? Underwood. Bryce Underwood, the 5-star recruit. So this is going to be a great rivalry even more. So we'll see what happens. Self-explanatory, we talk about Ohio State, Michigan, because the rivalry and it was at an all-time high last year. So it's definitely going to be nothing different this year. Number 7, big names on the move in the quarterback transfer movement. That's the seventh thing to watch. When you look at around 60% of Power 4 teams could start a transfer under center in 25. Several big-time proven quarterbacks are on the move, like Carson Beck to a $4 million NIL deal for 25. You know what I'm saying? We look at Jackson Arnold. He went to Auburn. Connor Wegman is with Houston. Devon Dampier with Utah. Caden Salter at Colorado. Fernando Mendoza, he's with Indiana. Mark Gronowski is now with Iowa. Quarterbacks like that. Nico Emeliva, he transferred from Tennessee to UCLA. North Carolina landed South Alabama Gio Lopez, so keep your eyes on the big names in the transfer market. Number 6, expect Big 12 chaos once again. The new 16-team Big 12 delivered on its chaos potential last season. 9 teams entered the final week with the chance to play for the Big 12 title. 4 teams finished 7-2 in the league play, while 3 tied at 6-3. 9 programs went to a bowl, and 2 of the preseason favorites, Utah, Kansas, have finished with losing records. So don't expect much to change in 2025. We got Arizona State returning 16 starters, with quarterback Sam Leavitt from last year's Big 12 title winning team. Keep your eyes on Iowa State, BYU, Baylor. And the 5th storyline and things to keep your eyes on is what's next for Deion Sanders in Colorado. That's a good one. Because obviously Travis Hunter is in the NFL, went to Deion Sanders. Where do Deion Sanders in Colorado go from here? Now you got Caden Salter from Liberty So to bridge the gap to the touted freshman Julian Lewis, help is on the way at wide receiver. In the trenches, a 4-5 offensive line that allowed 43 sacks. Robert Livingston made a massive impact in his first year as defensive coordinator. Buffalo's held teams to 5.1 yards per snap, down from 6.3 previous year, replacing Hunter's game-changing abilities. BJ Green the second's pass rush won't be easy. With a solid transfer haul also on the way for the defense, Livingston can build on last year's turnaround. So we'll see about that. Number 4, Georgia versus Texas, the SEC's new high-stakes rivalry. Alabama, LSU, Georgia, Alabama weren't rivalries in a traditional sense, but those two battles loom large over SEC supremacy. So keep your eyes on that. Georgia versus Texas. That may be the premier rivalry. Keep your eyes on that. Number 3, is it Penn State's time in the Big Ten? By high expectations for James Franklin's team, they got Drew Allard at quarterback, the dynamic duo of running backs Nicholas Singleton and Katron Allen. They expect to begin the season ranked inside the top 5 for the first time since 1999. With Ohio State, Michigan, and Oregon voting, the Big Ten could be in favor of the Nittany Lions of Penn State. So keep your eyes on that. Number 2, Notre Dame aims for another step forward in 2025. If Notre Dame wasn't a fan of new 12-team playoff before last season, it certainly was after 24. A Week 2 loss to Northern Illinois likely kept the Irish out of 4-team setup. If that was the case, but instead, they reeled off 13 straight wins, Notre Dame, and lost in that championship game to Ohio State. So getting Notre Dame to the title game was a huge step forward for Marcus Freeman, but now comes the last step in the process, winning that championship. Now they got CJ's Carr at quarterback, most talented single calls in recent memory, maybe the best offensive line in college football. You got Jeremiah Love, a Heisman Trophy front runner. The defense will miss coordinator Al Golden and needs to be tuned a bit at every level. A strong foundation remains for a group that limited teams to 15.5 points per game last year. Carr and the rest of the new faces won't have much time to settle in with an opener at Miami, but Texas A&M, USC, Boise State, Pittsburgh, Navy, Syracuse all come to South Bend. So if Carr develops as expected and the defense doesn't miss a beat, the program's first championship since 2000, first championship, national championship since 1988 is realistic goal for 25. And finally, the number 1 things to look out for, according to Avalon Sports, no surprise here, is Bill Belichick coaching North Carolina. So he'll be taking over a program, has only one double-digit win season in 2015 since 1997, the last ACC title since 1980. So obviously Bill Belichick won 6 Super Bowls, 2 all-time wins. So he's bringing a lot. A roster reshaped with more than 20 transfer additions. Building the line strings in the secondary. They got Gio Lopez to solidify the position. So that's the number 1 thing to watch for is Bill Belichick being at North Carolina. I think that's basically it. But overall, when you look at the college football landscape of things, keep your eyes on the University of Texas. They're the number 1 team. Going to Avalon Sports, they got Texas beating Penn State in the national championship. So that's it for that. So let's quickly get to the Avalon Sports NFL preview. We finished this preview of college football. So now it's time for the Avalon Sports NFL preview. We got a few minutes left. What I'm going to talk about in this one is, again, obviously the running back position has definitely had a renaissance last year at the running back position. You're going to definitely see that in effect this year. Obviously, when you look at Barkley, Saquon Barkley, and Derrick Henry, they're definitely great. So you're going to see other running backs step up to the fore. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey's going to be doing his thing. Ashton Jensen, the rookie, he's going to do his thing. Bijan Robinson, just talk about in this article about how the running back position made its comeback, and it definitely did in a major way. Then they talk about also the middle, men in the middle, the increasing importance of the defensive tackle in today's NFL. For a lot of reasons, the shortest distance between 2 points, wreaking havoc from every gap. That's another reason why the interior defensive lineman is very important in today's NFL. And we're going back to the future. I'm saying when we look at the 85 Bears of Chicago, they had the biggest constructs that stood out was the Bear front. They had a 5-man front. The nose tackles head over the center, 2 larger defensive ends deployed as defensive tackles to the guards, outside shoulders, and 2 faster edge defenders outside the tackles. So the main idea was to force single team blocks inside because the center had to deal with the nose tackle in the middle of the line The guards couldn't help because they were each dealing with tackles to their outside alignments. So last season, NFL defenses lined up in 5-man fronts on 810 snaps. 5 years before that, in 2018, they did so 629 times. A few years before 2016, they did so 464 times. 5-man fronts are becoming more popular, and the same reason now that exists back in Ryan, uh, Buddy Ryan's day. So when you have more defensive fronts in which there are 3 interior defensive linemen to keep 2 edge rushers, the math is clear as is the value. Also made way for the stunt man. The line stunts is doing their thing, in which one lineman acts as the looper to set up another lineman as it penetrates the pocket, have also increased in number and importance in recent years because in 2024 NFL season, there were 6,236 stunts. Of those, 1,242, a full 20%, were stunts in which the interior defensive linemen were the only ones doing the stunting, while the edge defenders were going after the quarterback in more traditional ways. Since that's the thing about it. Even in the Super Bowl, the Eagles didn't blitz the Chiefs once in Super Bowl 59, but they did send 11 stunts after Patrick Mahomes. And against those 11 stunts, Mahomes was only 2 for 5, but 17 yards, 2 sacks, offensive holding penalty. There was one interception, return for a touchdown, 3 quarterback scrambles. So it was Philadelphia's interior linemen, defensive linemen, who were the tone setters for the whole operation. The 4-man rush was the key, according to our All-Pro linebacker Zach Vaughn. He said we were getting pressure and collapsing the pocket. I was just in coverage, and I'm looking at the pocket just straight on them. The guys were eating up front, for sure. But the guys we have is always enough. And that's the thing about it. You don't have to have a pass rush. Have a blitz package because the interior defensive lineman is making it happen. Just like Cleveland Browns. They follow the trend of what's going on in the NFL because Mason Graham was drafted 5th overall, who lined up over or to one side of the center 29% last season, and over or outside the guard 60% of the time, or either over or outside the tackles 11% of the time. So that's the reason why you see this trend that's going on with the interior defensive lineman. Why it's so important. And then this article, they talked about in this issue, the NFL issue for Amazon Sports, they talked about 4th and goal. Aggression is replacing caution on 4th down. About Dan Campbell, his ability to go for it on 4th down because he's like the master gambler at going for it on 4th down. Then you have right here, 4th and 1. 10 years ago, teams went for it on 4th and 1, 40.4% of the time. Last year in 2024, teams went for it on 69%, 69.7% of the time. So when it's just, Dan Campbell, there's other coaches that decide, go for it on 4th down. 4th and 2, 10 years ago, teams went for it on 4th and 2, 14.5% of the time. In 2024, that number ballooned to 40.7% of the time. 4th and 3, 10 years ago, teams went for it on 4th and 3, that's 11% of the time. But in 2024, that number was 31.6% of the time. So Dan Campbell's just the face of the 4th down, going for it on 4th down. He's the face. He's the guy that's the master of he's the mastermind. But I don't think he's the only one that went for it on 4th down according to his percentage last year. As far as the data. But it was basically solely focused on Dan Campbell. And also, going for it on 4th down in general. Because there were other teams that did that. Washington Commanders had the best success rate at 87%. Was going for it on 4th down last season. Buffalo did the same thing. Kansas City, Philadelphia, Denver. So it wasn't just Detroit going for it on 4th down. It was Buffalo, Kansas City, Philadelphia, Denver, and Washington Commanders. They went for it on 4th down as well. So 10 of the top 10 teams, 10 of the top 11 teams rather, in 4th down success were playoff teams. And 8 of the 8 teams that converted less than 50% of complete 4th down attempts, 6 had losing records. Right, so that's what's featured in this issue. So as I move forward, I want to get into the draft. Got draft prospects and stuff like that. I'm gonna skip that. But they got mock draft. They got Arch Manning going to the Saints. There's no more pick in the draft. We'll see about that. Right. So let's get into predictions quickly before I close out. All right. Predictions in the AFC. They got the Buffalo Bills handling their business and winning the Super Bowl. Basically, they got them as the top overall seed. Baltimore is number 2, 3 Kansas City, 4 Houston, 5 Denver, Los Angeles, 6 and 7 Cincinnati Bengals. The wild card weekend, they got the Ravens over the Bengals, Chiefs over the Chargers, Broncos over the Texans. Divisional round, they got Bills over the Broncos, Ravens over the Chiefs. Championship game, they got the Bills over the Ravens. And they got the Super Bowl 60, they got the Bills beating the Eagles. And I can see that. No, Buffalo's definitely a team that can definitely do some great things. Because they got the reigning MVP and Josh Allen. So it's their time. You know what I'm saying? They got to break through somehow, some way. They start the season at Baltimore. Home against Baltimore. And this is a team that definitely was great on offense. They had 525 points that were scored. That was a franchise record. They were definitely dominant for scoring. They scored 30 or more points 13 times, 40 or more 4 times. This is an offense that only allowed 14 quarterback sacks. They turned the ball over NFL low 8 times. They took care of the back of the football. So this is the greatness of Josh Allen. They don't have no superstars on the offense. James Cook is a pretty good running back. They got Khalil Shakur, Keon Coleman, but not big names. The tight ends are not that big. No big names. Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. But the key for them to get to the Super Bowl is that they got get better on defense. Despite them having 32 takeaways, that was the second highest total. They were still pretty average on defense. They're not that efficient on defense. They tied for 11th in points allowed. They were tied for that. They were tied for 11th in points allowed. 17th in total defense. That's not a championship Super Bowl defense. So they got a big better on defense. They were tied for 18th in yards per rushing attempt and sacks. And they was bad as far as third down conversion percentage, as far as getting teams off the field, offenses off the field. They were 29th in third down conversion percentage. Also, they gave up 32 points in the championship game against Kansas City, season high. And they tied their season high with 28 first downs against that defense. They gave up 32 points against the Chiefs. So what they did was they signed Joey Bosa. Just played the Chargers. So their defense gotta get better. That's the only way they're gonna win a championship. Is the defense gotta hold it down and make it happen. So Joey Bosa gives a lot of the pass rush to the table. He was with the Chargers. So that's what it comes down to. So they got Buffalo winning the Super Bowl. Let's get to the NFC quickly. What they got in the NFC? Obviously, they got the Eagles coming out of the NFC. Okay, the NFC, they got Philadelphia Eagles at number 1 seed. Detroit, number 2 seed. Tampa Bay, number 3 seed. The Rams, number 4 seed. Washington Commanders, 5 seed. Green Bay Packers, 6 seed. 7 seed. Atlanta. Wild card weekend, they got the Lions over the Falcons, Bucks over the Packers, Commanders over the Rams. In the divisional round, they got the Eagles over the Commanders, Lions over the Bucks, and they got the championship game, the Eagles over the Lions. They got the Bills over the Eagles. That's what they got. So that's it, man. That's it. I'm done. My time is up. Just want to give 2 cents on that. So I hopefully get you ready for the college football season and the NFL season with what I talked about in these respective issues. College football season preview and the NFL preview. I'm saying this is what it's all about. That's it. So my time is up, man. That's it, man. For the season finale. The season finale. For the Rashad Mitchell Show, I'll be back next in this upcoming September. This upcoming September, man, I'll be back with season number 10. 10th season of the Rashad Mitchell Show, man. It's gonna be live and kicking. I enjoyed my time. I enjoyed this season. It's been a great season. Hopefully you enjoyed it. My time is up for the 413th episode of the Rashad Mitchell Show on Job Square Radio. Hopefully you enjoyed everything I talked about all season. It's been a great season. Season number 10 is coming up in September. Hopefully you enjoyed the whole season. While I'm on my hiatus, when I'm off, you can get tuned into the replays of the Rashad Mitchell Show. Throughout the remainder of the summer, I'll be back in September. to do it, 10th season of the Rashad Mitchell Show. Do it again, make it happen, and that's what it's about, man. Just continue to give you great content. And it's been a lot of years being on this station, a lot of seasons. But season number 10, that's a milestone season. It's gonna be a great one. 2026 it will mark 10 years that I started this show on September 4th, 2016. 2026, next September 2026 will be 10 years, officially 10 years. But the 10th season is coming up this season. So stay tuned for that. So remember, a lot of great stuff going on, a lot of great content, a lot of stuff to get into, and stuff like that. So hopefully you enjoyed the content today. I talked a lot about the NBA, the off-season moves, and also why the NBA contracts are skyrocketing. Why this Supermax deal extension is so commonplace right now. What is the reason behind the Supermax deal? Why is this happening? And I broke down the reason why. Sports headlines, I got into that. Talk about some baseball, got into UFC fighting schedule, got into that. And I got into the Athlon Sports football preview. They got Texas win the national championship over Penn State. That's where they got winning the championship this year. Texas and Penn State. National champions will be Texas, according to this book, this season preview of college football. And according to the NFL preview, they got Buffalo Bills win the Super Bowl over the Philadelphia Eagles. I can see that. I can see Buffalo win the Super Bowl this year. It wouldn't shock me if Buffalo does. They got a lot of talent. They just got to get better on defense. So Buffalo is the team to beat, according to Athlon Sports. They're the best in the AFC, and that's what they got. So that's it, man. Buffalo over Philadelphia in Super Bowl 60. So that's it for that. That's it for the show. So if you enjoyed everything I talked about for the whole season, we talked about all the above. Again, Bills over the Eagles. Went to Athlon Sports season preview for the NFL season. Bills over the Eagles. So hopefully you enjoy everything I talked about from top to bottom, all the above. So for Ron Williams, behind the boards, from the great studios of Wilson Park, New Jersey, in the control room, operating behind the scenes, I'm your host, Rashad Mitchell. Until then, talk to you next time, next season, in September, live on your Gyroscope Radio.